And it starts off with tires and wheels. Shout out to Marketplace. I got some Camaro tires and wheels. The tires are not really what I'm looking for, but they'll work for now. The wheels, they're Camaro wheels. And the good thing about those, they came off of an S-10. I got them for $100 for the whole set. So that truck used to live in Georgia with a bunch of clay roads. There's clay stuck all underneath it. So my truck, these came off of Marketplace, $100 for all four. Then I went to a car show and I found this one. This one was $20. It's a good tire. That means I've got a total of 7, 4 on the truck, 2 on the truck bed trailer, and the spare, and they all match. Gotta love that. I've got lug nuts, brand new set of lug nuts for this truck. That's 20 lug nuts for $25. Also got this temperature gauge. This was $10. I tested it with a lighter. It works. $10. And then back in November, at the same show, just this is spring break, this was November. These gauges match. They're different sizes, but they're all Pro Comp light, ultra light odometer gauges. So this set may go in this truck. And then the last thing that, I think this is the last thing I got at the show. These two tail lights, this truck needs a tail light. These two match, $10 for the pair. So just wash this tail light. It looks better than that tail light. Some tire shine will probably make it look new. I need to do a little wiring repair here. And I'm thinking about maybe polishing the paint a little bit before I put the tail light on. Make it look better. So here's my new tail light. I got this wiring. This is off of Charles. Before we put this in, I want to start polishing, at least in this area. Ooh, accident. So after a few minutes of polishing, that's what it's looking like. That's exactly what I want. I just got to do the whole rest of the truck. I'm up to the fender well. The trim around the fender well looks good. Under the trim looks good. I got to get the bumper off out of the way so I can get this little part. But this shows a before and after. It's squeaky clean now. And I think today I'm going to get this bumper off out of the way, get this taillight in, get the new bumper on. That might be today. Okay, on the bumper there are 6 18mm bolts, 6 nuts. There's 2 10mm bolts that hold on the tag lights. I think everything's done. It should be ready to come down. You can see where a whole bunch of red clay fell off with the impact wrench. Need to get this thing on a lift with a pressure washer, get some of that clay out of there. So that's what it looks like with the bumper off. I like it better without the bumper versus having a beat up bumper. Anyway, I should roll it in the sun just about, I don't know, 6 more inches so you can see the red better. Hang on. Sun's kind of on the wrong side. When you see this later on in the day, you can be like, wow, that looks good. Anyway, I'm going to do this next. Get the tail light in there. Just dug through those screws. I found 4 screws for the tail light. Let's get it installed. The wiring has been done. I've got liquid electrical tape on there. So the back bumper is off. Somewhere I've got a back bumper and a front bumper. I've got to brainstorm where I put those. If we look on the floor, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a pile of clay that fell off. And up next, I'm going to take this wheel off, use the wire brush, clean up these lugs, clean up this, maybe paint that black, and then we can put the new lug nuts on. So I've got the Blazer bumper sitting in place. There's 2 bolts holding it up there. I got the jack stand holding it level. I need to mark 2 holes in the bumper, the Blazer bumper bracket, take it back off, drill those 2 holes. Then I'd have 4 bolts holding it in place. That should be fine. This one is an extended cab 4x4 with patina. I'd like to have it, at least for a truck bed trailer. Whoops. Still has the engine in there. I'm tempted to get these seats. They're not the nicest. Probably won't get those, but I might get that mirror. And it's got the owner's manual. That's cool. Electronic dash. I don't have all that. Found a headlight donor switch. Taking that with me. So in this truck, it has seat belts. They go in, they go out. I don't think they're supposed to, when you snatch them, they're supposed to lock up. So they're faded and they don't lock up. Anyway, at the junkyard today, I picked up these black ones. They work, they're in good shape. Even has the center belt. I'll go with that. I think it was 11 bucks a piece. I'll have to check the receipt. So on the headlight switch, I've got the wires already plugged in. It should slide right into place. I've got the screws in my pocket. Yeah, just like that. That looks a lot better. Let me get the screws in it and I'll show you again. So 2 screws later, the headlight switch is installed. That'd be parking lights, headlights. That's the inside light. Well done. Set everything back in the bed that I plan on keeping. This fender, it's a nice fender, but I hope I don't have to use it. The one on here has got a little dent, but it matches. I got a cowl panel. That's the trim for the Blazer bumper. I don't think I'll use that. There's a front spoiler, an air cleaner, drive shaft, cross member, and this transmission. This is just a stock NV3500 replacement transmission for this truck. I don't know if I want to use that. I don't know if I want to go automatic, maybe find a 5-speed. Leave me a comment. What would you like to see, an automatic, a manual? I need a comment from you. Anyway, the bed does look better. So I've pretty much got this side polished up and pretty. I got to get a little bit under the door. Driver's side looks good. So I started pressure washing the bed, then I hit the hood. That hood looks good. Even the cracked windshield looks good. The driver's window looks good. This is as clean as it's been since I've had it. In the next episode, we've got to find an engine for it, figure out what transmission we're going to use. Then we can start however low it goes in the front, lower the back to match. Maybe some new brakes up front, new steering parts. This one has more miles than Charles has. It might need more parts. And this interior needs a lot of work. I'm thinking maybe just strip everything out and put 2 racing seats in there. So on this truck, I've been cleaning the outside, well, just the driver's side outside. The interior I've not even touched yet. Kind of curious, I've got a wet rag. It's almost as dirty as the door, but nowhere near as dirty as the door. I'm going to try to wipe it down a little bit and see what we're working with. Probably the first time it's been cleaned since the 90s. Anyway, that gives you an idea. I think the door panels are going to work. I just need some new seats, new seat belts, maybe some carpet. The rest of it looks fine to me. So it is time to figure out what the rear end gear ratio is. We could just look in the glove box, see if we can figure it out that way. But what I want to do, I want to test it this way, then look in the glove box and see how close we were. And my first step, I've got it jacked up. I've got a jack stand. I've got the driver's side tire, it turns. The passenger side's still on the ground. I've got my phone in selfie mode. I will slide my phone underneath the rear end. Okay, I just hit record on the cell phone. That's going to count the number of turns underneath. We're going to count the number of turns out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all there is to it. So this is what I see in the glove box. I think I'll take a picture and go Google it. And this only applies if nobody's changed the rear end out in the last 30 years. So I've got the bumper jacked up right where it needs to be. When you open the tailgate, it does not touch the bumper. I'm gonna climb under now with the drill and I'm gonna mark 2 holes. There's already 2 bolts. There'll be 4 bolts total once I get done drilling. So just mark where 2 holes need to be drilled. I'm gonna take the bumper off now. We'll drill it out here in the open. So we're gonna use this hole and this hole, and on this side, this hole and that hole. So the passenger side is already tight. I got to put on these 2 nuts, these 2 lock washers, and this is done. More clay removal. And now when we let the jack down, bumper's in place. Perfect. And then I'll probably leave that on there until I need to tow something. Then we can swap out the bumpers from the truck bed trailer to this, and I'll be able to tow. There is a slight angle down on the bumper when you do it this way, but it don't bother me. Most people will see it from this angle. It's level this way. So a quick red S-10 update before this video comes out. I'm still looking for an engine, and my interior's been a big hold up. Engine update. I've still got this 307, but I want to completely rebuild it. I don't know how long that would take. That'd be a good video, good content, but I don't know if I want to wait that long to drive the truck. The son-in-law, he's been trying to trade me this Ford V8. It's a 302. I don't think I want an S10 with a Ford engine in it. I could do a Mustang-themed S10, but I don't think I want to go that way. Option 3, I think I want to keep looking on Marketplace and find something that already runs, something I could just drop right in. And so for the biggest update, I don't have an engine yet, but the biggest update right now, on the interior, I've got 2 stereos to pick from. I think I'll go with this. This is a JVC. It just looks cleaner than the Pioneer. Take that housing off, put that in this truck. And the interior, I'm okay with the interior, except for this seat. This seat is terrible. Seat cover's even terrible. And then last night, I did some trading. Look at those seat belts. 2 nice 4-point harnesses, and then also 2 seats that happen to be red. So, oh, and yeah, there is a bracket on that one. There's a bracket. There's 2 sets, 2 different kinds of brackets. I don't know what we're going to use. I need to get this bench seat out and start test fitting those. And what I think I'll do on the exhaust, I've got this chrome tip, maybe 1 chrome tip coming out back here with a cutout up front, something where you can have it decent sounding and then also super loud. And for these sliders, I've got the one that's about a 3-inch lift, and I've got these that are flat. I don't know if flat's going to work in this truck. I don't want to sit too low. Probably be those. That's going to be the next thing I do is rip that bench seat out, stick those in, and the exhaust will do that after the engine. We got to find an engine for it. So I thought the seats would be saved for the next episode, but I gotta get these seats in there. I wanna see what they feel like, how they're gonna look. I want you to be able to see them. Looks like there's been some rats in here. This would be a before. Cruddy seat, okay door panels, but rats have been in here. This is what a seat looks like. Anyway, 5/8. I'm gonna get this bench seat out. The bench seat was putting up a fight, but it is not winning. The bench seat is now on the ground. If we look on the inside, I'm gonna get the shop vac, clean up all this rat nest, and that carpet might be pretty good looking. We'll know in a minute. So the carpet that was under the seat is looking pretty good. That floorboard is okay. This one, the truck's in 92. I guess the last time it was vacuumed out was in 93. What was under the seat feels like new carpet. This feels like petrified forest. So I've got the two new seats sitting in place. I believe this one is right where it goes. The other one has to go back a little bit and be twisted some. But as far as this one, I think what I'm gonna do, there's a stud inside of this bracket. If I can beat that out, drill it out, and make it fit on top of this bolt, that'd be a good anchor point. And then on the other side, I could do the exact same thing, and they would be symmetrical with each other. I have also been taking the sledgehammer, beating the floor down a little bit because it's gonna be sitting like this if we don't. Nobody wants to sit like that. So on the driver's side bracket, I've got 3 out of the 4 holes drilled. There's one here beside that stud. There's one there. There's one there. The best thing to do is go ahead and cut the carpet away, cut that padding away, drill the hole. I've got one more to go here, and we'll get this bracket sitting in place. So bracket number 1 is done. I got all 4 holes drilled. I got to get some washers and some fasteners. Then we can get the seat bolted on. Then we can move on to the other side. So the good news on these bucket seats, they came with brackets. The bad news is they don't fit, so I'm going to make these adapters. This is angle iron. I've just drilled 2 holes. That's going to screw into the seat. I'm going to do it again down here. Then I'm going to lay it on there, weld it on. Same thing in the back. Not a problem. So the seat bracket is all done. It's bolted to the seat. All 4 bolts are tight. It's ready to go drop in the truck. So just took out the other half of the seat belts. That gives more room here. It looks a lot better. And this seat update, it's fully installed. It sits nice. I got to get that one installed for the interior. The other seat has to be installed. We need some floor mats. We need to put the stereo in, take down this headliner, and the interior is done. So the last thing I did today, I put the seat belts in place. They're not bolted in, they're just sitting in place. Just see what they look like. I like them. Anyway, I got to go to the store and get 4 nuts for this side, 4 nuts for that side, and I'll probably drill holes right beside where the old seat belts went, there and there, and then the shoulder straps. Probably just straight down right through the floor, bolt them on. Maybe get some really big washers and put under there. So I just came from the store. I got 4 lock nuts. These are grade 8. I got 4 washers grade 8. They go for the seat belts. I think what I'll do for now is just get the lap belts installed and worry about what to do on the shoulder harnesses later. So I've got the seatbelt eye bolt in place. I've got the crowbar that's going to keep it from spinning. Let's go underneath with the impact. So on the inside, I was just toying around with putting a big butt speaker in here. It almost fits, but if you do that, the seat won't go back. My knees would be hitting the dash. My head would be up to the headliner. I wouldn't be able to recline. Speaker's gonna be a no-go unless you guys say do it. Or what you could do is get a nice diamond plate toolbox that sits down in the bed and put the speaker inside the box outside of the truck. Protect your ears. So the guy that I got this from said that the guy he got it from had hit a hog. You can see a dent here. I guess that messed up your bumper, that messed up the grill, that messed up the core support. Anyway, this was also bent, so they cut that off. They got a new one at the junkyard. And what I'm going to do, there's still some original frame on this side. There's still some original frame on that side. I'm going to line those up with my frame. And it'll be about 1/8 of an inch. Maybe 3/16 of an inch over this way, but it's slotted, so it should be fine. I've got my vice grips. This side lines up, that side lines up. If we take a straight edge Looks good to me. I'm gonna mark it, clean it up, and we're gonna let it on. Look good to you guys? Let me get the welder. So just came in with about $10 worth of nuts, bolts, and washers. That's for mounting the seats. And I'm going to go ahead and temporarily put on the front bumper and the grill. That way we get a whole picture of what the truck's going to look like. Of course, once the engine's in it, the front will be lower, and then we'll lower the back to match. So here's the grill that came with the truck. It is brand new. It's going to go in place. And I got to find a bow tie to put right here in the center. Looks kind of bad without it. And then we'll get the bumper put on. I don't know about the core support yet. I think I'm going to get a new core support. That looks kind of bad. I don't know if I can straighten it. So there's the grill sitting in place. I've just got 2 screws holding it so it don't fall out. I'd hate to scratch that new grill. Anyway, I need 2 side marker lights for the sides of the grill. This time I want to do some LEDs that are all silver, but they're LEDs, a whole bunch of LEDs in there. I'm trying to keep it as stock looking as possible, but I want the bright lights. And the bumper, I've already got 2 new lights to go in the bumper. They're clear. Under the hood, we need a new battery tray, and it needs an air conditioning compressor. I want this to have AC and heat. And I see the power steering pump down there. It just needs a really good cleaning, and we got to find the engine and transmission. Hopefully all that happens real soon in episode number 2. So just for the fun of it, I stuck a battery in the truck and both headlights come on. Let's go look at the taillights. So then I turn on just the parking lights. That parking light comes on. This one's got a messed up socket. Let's go see if we can get high beams and low beams. Low beams, high beams. So we'll call this the final view on what the truck's going to look like when it's going on the road, except for I want the toolbox gone. It needs a new windshield, and the hood I'm thinking probably flat black. For the front bumper I've got these clear marker lights. You can just imagine what that's going to look like, or if you want to go ahead and look down there. There's one already on, sitting in place. I'm thinking it probably needs to be amber. You can leave me a comment, amber or white. And for the tags, I got this one because it was on clearance. That'll probably just go on the wall. This one because the truck's red and that matches the other S-10. Still need a bow tie, still need an engine and transmission, but this is what it's going to look like. You can leave me a comment. Engines, LS swap, old school V8, leave me some comments. Transmission, automatic, manual. I'm up in the air right now. Probably whatever I'll find the best deal on, but you can leave me a comment. And stay tuned for part 2. What's crazy, Charles has been lower 2 inches in the back, but they said about the same. So here at the very end of the video, I want to do a shout out to some people. This is from Timothy Bryson. Here's the address if you want to shout out, Chud327, P.O. Box 687, Callahan, Florida, 32011. He wrote me a letter, and on the back it says, write back. I did write back, I just didn't send it yet. So if you're hanging in there thinking I'm not going to write you back. Anyway, he don't have a channel, but he's talking about his mowers and the tires and watching the videos. Anyway, here's the letter that I wrote back to him. Coming soon, Timothy. And the next one is a Shane Wilkins. Let's cover up his address. Anyway, he must have watched the one where I said send me some stickers and I can stick it on the mower. He sent a couple of Palmetto State Armory stickers. And then Howie sent a birthday box with a whole bunch of stickers and a key ring. So shout out to Howie. That's AKA USS Discovery. Piston key ring, and a whole bunch. There's probably 20, 30 stickers in there. Anyway, if you want to send me something, let me show you the address one more time. And thanks for watching.